Wow, loma sai enda suba lolo yogi nyagira nakapono tenkarishara sidai oleng tolari ngejuk le 2025 nigira yolo yamba kumbone pertana ake ajuna sana ramataro lo shoka ore ngolo gedurara dola jogi tinage enkopis ajuna sana nage county magana gamba enkisuma magana gamba ajuna sana enkiguran elelero ajuna sana nage okulie ba kumok oleng social services nige magana ngolo gedurara kake ore sai nigira nagai focus oleng ashomor nago oleng apika emba enkiroshi ba na pertana ake enkisuma amukidolta naga aje boldo sukulini nena bara naga tenkitesheni Mheshimiwa Simotwo elikinaga yok bana epirta enkisuma neliki yok ajo na sana naga enkipirta arashu eramatare naake erreten county epirta naga enkisuma tonkera esukul. Wow, Mheshimiwa jambo
mzuri sana.
Habari ya asubuhi.
Mzuri sana kabisa. Kwa mzima nashukuru Mungu. Nashukuru Mungu ametuwezesha tufuke mwaka.
Yes.
Tuingie mwaka wa 2025.
Kabisa.
Ndio tuweze kufanya kazi. Karibuni.
Wow, tunashukuru sana umetualika kwenye ofisi zako. Na tunaona ya kwamba hata ukifika pale town pale Narok County tumepitia mambo ni mengi sana, mambo ya shule na mengine mengi. Ningependa kwanza ujulishe ama uambie watazamaji wetu kwa majina unaitwa nani, unafanya nini, mambo kama hayo.
Kwa majina ni Robert Simotwo. Mimi ni waziri wa elimu. Masuala ya vijana, masuala ya jinsia, huduma za jamii na tamaduni katika serikali ya kaunti ya Narok. Mimi ni mwalimu katika taaluma na niko na tajriba ya kutosha kuweza kusimamia idara ya elimu baada ya kufanya kazi chini ya Teacher Service Commission kwa miaka mingi. Nimezaliwa Narok, nimelelewa Narok, nimesoma Narok na ninahudumu Narok. Na hiyo ndio sababu ya kuweza kutia bidii katika kuongoza idara hii.
Wow, kwa kweli tulikuona kabla tufika hapa saizi mahali tuko. Pale siasa mambo kama hayo. Hebu tuambie tu kidogo tu historia yako kidogo tu na siasa ya kaunti ya Narok.
Siasa yangu mingi imekuwa katika trade unionism. Kabla nijiunge na serikali ya kaunti nilikuwa kiongozi ya walimu katika chama cha kutetea maslahi ya walimu.
Wow.
Nikiwa nimechaguliwa kama BEC, nikachaguliwa kama mwenyekiti wa branch, Narok branch, na nikachaguliwa vile vile kuwa mwenyekiti wa kaunti mzima ya Narok, kuongoza na kutetea maslahi ya walimu. Kitambo kidogo nimejaribu siasa, mwaka wa 2013. Nimejaribu nikiwa running mate, nikigombea kiti cha ugavana wa Narok. Nikiwa na maono ambayo bado ninayo kuweza kuongoza kaunti ya Narok kufikia malengo makubwa.
Wow. Kwa hivyo 2017 mpaka sasa hivi umeingia tena kwenye mbilingo wa siasa kidogo.
Baada ya mwaka wa 2013 nikawa nimejihusisha sana na trade unionism. Nikawa nimeacha siasa, nikawa nang'ang'ana na kuongoza walimu na kutetea maslahi yao katika jamii. Hadi pale ambapo His Excellency the Governor aliweza kutambua tajriba yangu, taaluma yangu na akaniweka katika serikali yake ili niweze kuhudumu katika idara ya elimu.
Wow, mpaka sasa hivi tumeona kwamba kuna a lot of changes kama before this government. Kwa tunaona watoto wachanga ama wa shule wanapata mimba wakiwa shule na mambo mengi ambayo tulikuwa pale kwenye gazeti tulikuwa top. Lakini kwa sasa hivi nimeona kuna changes mingi sana. Ni kwamba mmefanya nini ama nini imefanyika?
Kwanza kabisa tunasikitikia kwamba katika miaka hiyo mwaka wa 2020, 2021, 2022 Narok County iliweza kutajwa kama inayoongoza katika mimba za mapema kwa wasichana wetu. Hili ni jambo la kuogofya sana kwa sababu hawa watoto ni watoto wetu ambao wangekuwa watu muhimu katika kujenga kaunti hii. Katika serikali ya kaunti kuna hali ambapo tunashirikiana na serikali kuu katika Gender Technical Working Group. Gender Technical Working Group ni kikundi ama ni idara ambayo inashughulikia masuala ya jinsia katika kaunti. Kikundi hiki kinasimamiwa na County Commissioner kama chair na CEC wa gender kama chair. Kwa hivyo tumekuwa tukishirikiana na County Commissioner ili kuweza kuteremsha idadi ya watoto ambao wanapata mimba. Kwa hakika mahali ambapo tupo sasa tumeweza kuteremsha, hata ingawa bado changamoto hiyo bado ipo, kwa sababu tuliweza tu kuteremsha kuanzia from 46 to 28%.
Wow.
Na hao 28% bado ni wasichana wetu ambao tunawajali
kwa kweli,
na juhudi ambazo tumeweka kwa miaka ambayo tumeweza kufanya kazi pamoja na county commissioner ni kuhakikisha kwamba idadi hiyo inateremka mpaka 0, kwa sababu jinsi ambavyo tunahitaji wavulana shuleni ndio jinsi ambavyo tunahitaji wasichana shuleni, kwa sababu we need a balanced society. Yes.
Mmejipanga vipi, kwa sababu tunaona mashule yamefunguliwa sasa, mnajipanga aje kulingana na masomo ya primary na secondary school pamoja na universities and colleges kwa sasa?
One thing that must be stated very clearly is that as a county government, we've prioritized education. We've realized the only thing that can solve the major challenges, social challenges that we have as a county is actually ensuring that our kids are able to access education and that educational institutions are able to offer quality education.
Wow.
Where we are right now, even as we offer this education service to the citizenry in the county, we always think about the foundation.
Sure.
The framers of the 2010 Constitution were wise enough to ensure that basic education, that is pre-primary education, is actually a preserve of the county government. This is a docket that we've been able to do very well under the leadership of His Excellency Patrick Tutu. For the last 2 years that we've been in power, we've been able to construct about 300 ECD centers.
300
ECD centers. And that's not just, we are not just constructing rooms. Every ECD classroom that has been constructed is equipped with chairs. It is properly furnished.
Wow.
And the reason why we are doing this is to ensure that we have got strong foundation of quality education. One other point that must be noted is that these ECD centers that we've been able to construct, most of them are standalone. When I say standalone, I mean we have constructed ECD centers away from the main primary schools. And the reason why we are doing this one is to improve access to education service. That when we construct an ECD at the village, the kids are able to access at the right age. You know, our net enrollment is still low. The gross enrollment is still high, but the net enrollment is low. And we are doing this to ensure that we establish ECD centers where there are no ECD centers to improve access. One other point that we want to establish the foundation is that we are training teachers. You know, the curriculum that we are offering currently is CBC, competency-based curriculum. And the training that was given to teachers was by the Ministry and the Teacher Service Commission, actually targeted teachers in primary, that is from grade 1 upwards. As a county government, we've been able to train so far 1,200 teachers on CBC, so that they are competent enough to handle the curriculum, and so that our kids are not left behind. One other thing that we are doing is that as we do this training, we also equip these teachers with the materials they need, that is instructional materials. And we are in the process of distributing instructional materials to every ECD center within the county, so that we have that foundation. Now, on the other hand, in the primary section, we've worked with other civil society groups and other stakeholders to ensure that we support primary schools. In fact, we've gone out of our way, that we found some primary schools who are challenged infrastructurally, and as a county government, we've come in handy to support them by constructing this infrastructure. In secondary schools, the same. In colleges, the same. Because one thing that we know is that education is key. It's key for everyone. And in fact, every time and again, I've spoken about this, that we can differ politically, but we cannot differ in provision of these very, very important service to our people. Yeah, because whether we belong to different political divides, we must agree on this one, that our people need education. One other thing that we've been able to do so that we keep our kids in school is ensuring that we provide bursary. Yeah, I think Narok County is actually providing the largest amount because we have set aside in our budget 450 million for bursary. And this bursary we've been able to distribute. And the reason why we are doing this is not because we have a lot of money. It is because we have a lot of challenge. We want to ensure that every child is in school. Yes.
We had an issue on the bursary side. I don't know whether bursary imeshapatikana ama ilikuwa inasemekana because tuliona watu wengi wakilalamika kwamba checks zilikuwa zina bounce. Is it true ama what happened?
Okay, one thing that, we only need clarification here. The checks that we are issuing to these learners are bankers' check. And, the bank cannot write a check without money. Before a banker's check is written, is drawn, they confirm first of all that there is money in the account.
Yeah.
One thing that people should not confuse is that the check doesn't belong to county government. It's a banker's check.
Okay.
And if there is any lies that have been done there so that it bounces, then the judgment should be targeted to I&M Bank and not county government.
That's county government.
Yes, it's a banker's check. It doesn't belong to the county government. It's a banker's check.
There was a check that I saw. I don't know whether I'll get it, but I'll present to my viewers.
Yes.
Kulikuwa na check ilikuwa imeandikwa in numbers. I think it was 5,000
and 7,000.
And 7,000.
I'm very aware. Bursary board is actually under this department. That's who do this thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's good to reason and be reasonable even when reporting these things. I think it's not a unique thing.
Sure.
It's just typo error. And we've always done that even in bank. Even personally, you've gone to bank and you are writing figures and then you are told, go write again. And I do not know why people should make a lot of noise about this, because for me, it's a very small issue. One thing that I want to give assurance is that every child who has been identified to benefit from the bursary scheme will benefit from the bursary scheme. Because we have set aside this money and this money is available. I want to assure the public there is no monkey business about it. Every child who has been identified to benefit from the bursary, and of course it's not us who identify. Identification is done at the local level. All the kids who have been identified for us so that we give them bursary will get the bursary as has been identified by the local committee. They should be assured. And I want to even on the same line nataka niwahimize wanafunzi baada ya kuwapatia bursary watie bidii katika masomo. Kwa sababu huu ni mkono ambao tunawapatia ili waweze kuwa shuleni, ili wapate nafasi ya matumaini katika safari yao ya kuelimika, ili baadaye baada ya muda mchache waweze kuwa wataalamu, waweze kushiriki katika kusaidia familia zao na kujenga nchi na county kwa pamoja.
Sasa hiyo ya typing error tutashumu ni 7,000 shillings ama 5,000 ama itabidi ikuwe tena irudiwe upya?
Kwa sababu benki haiwezi, the bank cannot honor because there is mismatch between the figure in words and the figure in the figure itself.
Okay.
So what happens? It will be brought back to the bursary office.
Okay.
Then the bursary office will refer to the record because we have the record, and then the right figure will be written. If the right figure was 7, it will be rectified to read 7,000. If the right figure was 5,000, then the 7,000 will be changed to be 5,000.
So you regard that as propaganda, and maybe it has come to a politics side.
Okay, it's not propaganda. It is real that there was that error.
Okay.
But it should not be a big issue because I'll even ask the media houses to be concerned about what they report to the public because they are making big news out of nothing. Because that's just very simple thing. A person will gone to bank, write a withdrawal form, and then there is mismatch between what I've written and what has been written there. It's common. It's a common thing. And when you find media houses capitalizing on it, then you realize that maybe media houses are becoming bankrupt with news. They can do better.
Wow, thank you so much, Mheshimiwa. Another question. What are the actions you guys are taking to make sure that every kid is in school, apart from the shortage you heard with the CBC teachers and all that? What are other actions? Because tuko na watu wengi, unajua pa Masaini tuko na watu wengi pale tu nyumbani, wanafunzi wengi ambao, watoto wengi ambao labda hata wanachunga na mambo mengi ambayo imefanyika before kama ile kiangazi ya the previous years. Mnahakikisha aje ya kwamba every kid anatoka nyumbani na amekuja shule?
Thank you so much. It's a weight issue. It's a weight issue. That in the year 2023, UNICEF, through their own research, discovered that in Narok County, there are 32,000 kids out of school.
32,000?
32,000 who are supposed to be in school, but they're out of school. So one thing that we did, working with the national government and the Ministry of Interior Coordination, we came together with UNICEF, and there is, it's called, Women Education is there, something up. With a number of civil society organizations. We came together and then we strategized on how we can have these kids go back to school. One thing we have discovered is that during droughts, migration is taking toll on the education of the kids. They move with the children, and then children get out of school. Because of poverty levels, some kids run out of school to be employed elsewhere. And then we have other issues. And one thing that we've done is that we have empowered the local administration, the Nyumba Kumi initiative, to identify these kids who are supposed to be in school. And also get to understand the reasons that drive them out of school. So that we address this reason. I think one of the reasons that made them out of school is lack of school fees, especially those who are secondary school going. And this is the reason why, as a county government, we've been able to increase bursary allocation from 370 in 2022 to 400 in 2023 to 450 in 2024. So that we can have these kids in school. In fact, that difference from 370 to 450, around 80 million, is actually geared towards ensuring that these kids are in school. In areas where the kids cannot be in school because of the distances, we've taken ECDs to their villages. And then number two, with the county education board, we've been able to approve registration of a number of schools. Every year, we are actually trying to have as many schools as possible, the schools that meet the standards. So that when we have many schools, we can have the number reduced because children can access schools and therefore access education. Then finally, we are working with other stakeholders to really deal with people who are engaging in child labor. Yes. Child labor and mistreatment of kids through FGM and early marriages. Yeah, in fact, in the gender technical working group, we have the prosecutors, we have the courts, we have the police, we have all these stakeholders to ensure that if a child has been taken out of school without good reason, then the perpetrators of these movements are dealt with according to the law.
Wow, thank you so much. As we finalize, what expectations do you have over the incoming KCSE results?
Okay, we are very optimistic. We believe in our teachers, we believe in the stakeholders, and we are waiting for these results. And whatever comes, as it comes, I believe we have a duty as the leadership, as the residents of Narok County, to better our best.
Wow.
That what we are going to get this year, we are going to improve on it so that we have better results next year. And maybe again, I want to tell the parents that no child is useless and no grade is useless. As a county government, we have established vocational training centers. That's our mandate as a county government. In fact, when we came in 2022, we had 1,200 students in the vocational training centers, enrolled at the vocational training centers. What we've been able to do as a county government is that we've been able to improve the infrastructure in these vocational training centers. Yes, we've been able to improve. That in every vocational training center, there is a project to expand vocational training centers for our kids. Yeah, those who cannot make it to university, those who cannot even make it to secondary school for some reasons, can have skill training. Number two, we've been able to increase the number of vocational training centers in Narok County from 9 to 12.
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
Just within the 2 years?
Within the 2 years. Within the 2 years.
Wow.
And we have plans in this year, within this financial year, we are going to establish another 2.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. And the reason is this. It's not every child who will go to university.
Yeah.
It's not every child who will go for diploma training. It's not every child who will go to TTI. But we know that those who will get to vocational training centers, others will go to TTIs, others will go to university. What we need is that every child must be equipped with skills for life.
Wow. As you finalize your final words to parents, students, and the whole community.
Wazazi na wanafunzi, tunapoingia mwaka wa 2025 na watakia kila laheri. Kila mmoja ajue ya kwamba tuna majukumu maalum. Kuna majukumu maalum kwa serikali, kuna majukumu maalum kwa wazazi, na majukumu maalum kwa wanafunzi na watoto. Kila mmoja ashughulike, awajibike, afanye majukumu yake ili tuweze kupata mapato na matokeo mazuri ya maisha tunapokwenda mbele. Na hata baada ya kufanya hivyo, jinsi ambayo tunashughulika kama serikali ni kwamba serikali ya His Excellency Patrick Ole Ntutu ilitoa ahadi. Na ahadi hizo ndizo zilifanya wananchi kumchagua. We are going to deliver on our promise according to the manifesto of His Excellency the Governor. And of course, they say a good turn deserves another.
Wow, a good turn deserves another.
Thank you.
Asholeng loma sai kiro ngana gamba na biro dogai bertana gen ke soma adiona sanam na ko shole mani do lajo sabu go siligio leng monage a novice education, sports and youth affairs, gender and social services na jogi naga sholeng to suja yoga nage lirum na gamba adiona sanam nage na itugo etagol ile bunyolo shop ashole